Hello everyone, and welcome to the probably the only sequel video in this, I guess unless I have a rematch, in this, I'm forgetting how to describe it, season of VBL content. Here we have the incredible one of the videos of all time. It is definitely one of the videos of all time. I am here with the ChichiSara themselves for the video Chichi ha Sarariman to omotta ga shinshoku ha yabasugi isekai fugeki daru. So would you like to say hello?
I think that was me that you were talking about. I'm honored to be in the only sequel in this prestigious season of Electric videos, so thank you for having me.
Indeed. I didn't quite have the energy to put out a full week of videos, or I think it was a week and a half last time. So instead this is just making up for my regular weekly battle, because there's a break week.
But you did have the energy to learn Japanese in that week, so that's pretty impressive.
Definitely. I totally learned Japanese, and didn't used to do this back for my university club when I was president. Yeah. So yes, we have all ChichiSara themselves, and we will see how well your soothsayer skills. I don't know how to describe this. Soothsaying. I think it's soothsaying. Went as we look at what kill leaders based on the previous Garchomp video, and I'm sure anyone who's seen like the thumbnail for the Garchomp video will see this thumbnail and immediately realize that it's a sequel.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So on to the next episode. So here were our predictions for the Scarlet division. So I will mention in advance, one of the players did drop and get replaced. I think we only had one drop this season, right?
Yeah, which is pretty good. Only 24 coaches, but it's still good.
I think we had about that many drops when you had 16, so...
Yeah, true.
Clearly 24 must be the right number then. Maybe we should do that again next season.
Oh, gross. Please, no.
I think the first team overall was Jace's Golden Goats. I'm not going to remember the team names for all of them, but I will hopefully remember the players. So I predicted that Volcarona was going to be kill leader, and you predicted that Azumarill was going to be kill leader. One of these showed to be pretty on the nose, but I think that my reasoning behind Volcarona was that I thought that it's a mon that takes advantage of Terra very well. It's faster than Goldengo, and it's similarly strong to Goldengo. I think it has like one more Spatak stat or something. So I thought that it was definitely capable of picking up a lot of KOs. Both of us predicted it was not the Goldengo that was going to be the kill leader. And then what was your thought process in predicting Azumarill, if you remember?
Yeah, I kind of thought people would prep really hard for Goldango. Volcarona made sense too, because it comes out, you might be thinking Rage Powder shenanigans, and it picks up easy kills, so it could have been either of those two.
Like, do you think that with how this like generation has gone with terastallization and the different like options in terms of speed control and priority moves and whatnot, that like you still think a season on that you made a reasonable prediction there?
I think so. I mean, Azumarill with really high power Aqua Jets, I think is really nice for picking up kills. You know, finishing off those sashes was part of my thought process too.
Yeah, I was definitely a bit hesitant because I thought that now we have Bruxish, Serena, Indeedee, the other Indeedee, and Farigiraf all as kind of stopping that. Which, you know, you could theoretically run into all of them of a season. And there are some Pokemon with priority that was really affected by it, but I don't think Azumarill wound up being that negatively impacted by the access just because he hit so hard without the priority. I think Jace's team had pretty decent ability to switch up into Trick Room and also just bought Azumarill with Tailwind.
Yeah, good.
And the second team, this is not the Grafting Gengars, right? This is the other Gengar team. Oh, we're 2 teams in, and I've already forgotten what team it is. This is Rays, Apex, Lola, Marowaks, I think?
I should remember this because I just played against this Gengar. And I will play them again next week because of the format that we love.
Well, I think you dodged the bullet of Steve, at least.
Yeah, true. Oh,
did you win?
Against Ray?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Oh, well, you didn't win against either of them.
Which is okay. Yeah, I never came out with the video. You just reminded me. I gotta contact my partner.
Your partner?
Yeah, so you thought Gengar would be the KO leader
and
for the
whole
Magnezone division.
I did think that of like the 6 options that we picked up, that Gengar was going to be the top dog. And we'll see how that went. Oh yeah, sorry. The big one in the middle is the Pokemon I thought was going to be the overall that we predicted were going to be the overall kill leader for the. Is it the division or the conference?
The division, it would be the conference, yeah.
Yeah, whichever one it is. So then we have the both of us predicted the Quack for, I think it was Big Man, and then they dropped. And the replacement coach was Steve. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to it. But I do think that Quack is a reasonable one to predict as a kill leader. It's pretty strong. And then we get to, I think this is Dan's team, the Alexandria Arcanines. I do not remember what Big Man's team name was, but Steve's is the Waterloo Wormadams. Yeah, I predicted Killer Wattrel, and you predicted Glaceon. They had a lot of different Pokemon. I think it would be very difficult to predict who the kill leader was going to be, and even when I was making this video, I was surprised.
Yeah, it was definitely with Dan's team. I kind of had no idea who it would be, so I just wanted to go out on a limb and hope it would be Glaceon.
Look, I mean, your loyalty to Glaceon was very strong until the second time that we looked at a team with Glaceon, and then you immediately gave up on to defend again.
Yeah, definitely did.
Alright, then we have Samax's team, I think, with Hatterene and Sarariman.
Yes.
Samax's team could really have done with using the free agencies, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think his team packed quite enough of a punch, but
well, we both have individually very strong Pokemon that rely on support, but the type of support he had, I think, were the wrong types of support to support these Pokemon. He had a lot of mons that were really good at supporting faster threats, I think.
Yeah, so Hatterene, your thought process was it sets Trick Room for itself and then runs wild.
He had an alternative Trick Room setter as well, I think. I think my thought process was Sarariman and Hatterene were the only Pokemon with strong offensive stats, and you said Sarariman, so I thought I'd be a contrarian.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the last team, I think, was Sly's Seattle Swallows. And we both went Baxcalibur. You thought it was going to be the overall kill leader for the division.
I did. I expected Sly to win a lot of games this season, and Baxcalibur is super strong. And I think Baxcalibur did definitely perform in both conferences this season pretty well. So
spoilers, but yeah, we'll see what the results
Cut
are.
that out.
So, the overall killer, you were right on Azumarill, and you were right on Sarariman. We both got the Mulligan for Quack, but Talonflame wound up being the kill leader for Steve. And then Baxcalibur wound up tying Arcanine. Haxorus, who I think you were very big on in the other conference, did super well. But actually, the overall kill leader was Tauros Aqua from Ray and his Apex Lola Marowak. Had an absolutely bonkers season. I think it only came to, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks, and it got an absurd number of kills every game.
Yeah, the Tauroses are really strong. It was one of those new mons where we kind of didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know that if you were looking at your own team. I think your Tauros did the least of all 5 of them, I think, were drafted. I know both the Waters and both the Fires, and I think one of the Fightings was, and I believe that yours performed got the least kills, at least.
Yeah.
Obviously, you still made playoffs, and I don't think the Tauros Combat did. But I think all
the Tauros Combat had more kills than my Tauros. That's shocking.
I mean, your Tauros had, I think 5, and it had 6.
Yeah.
It wasn't, a steep competition. It certainly wasn't I think 22 that this one had.
That's insane. That's such a high number.
Was it 22? I'm going to double check that because I could be lying, but it was a very, very high number.
Well, it has to be the highest kill count.
Yeah, but it was the highest kill leader, second highest. Sorry, no, it was 20. Another Pokemon was 22. So this is the second highest kill leader overall. It's just it's very funny to me. Neither of us picked it, but it really performed. But it's funny because I picked on the Taurus Fire in the next one that we'll be looking at. So here we look at the predictions for Violet. Both of us went fully in on Ferrat's Annihilate, which was an okay prediction. We'll see how that panned out. You were very big on Meowscarada for your own team. I was thinking that Taurus was going to be really good. I certainly was thinking that. And we'll see how my general thoughts about Taurus Blaze panned out. The next one is a very interesting one, because we both picked a different kill leader for James's Cincy Minchies, and neither of us got a Pokemon in James's top 2 kill leaders. So that was very interesting. I think both of us wound up picking Goodra for me. It certainly was looking like it early on in the season, but as the games went on, I kept running into matchups that were very physically oriented. I don't think I had an Intimidate option to support Goodra, and it's, less than stellar physical defense.
Yeah, and it's not the strongest attacker also, right? So it needs some kind of setup. Or...
It's pretty strong. It's pretty strong with setup, and it's pretty strong without setup. I think if I slapped the choice specs onto it, and if I had good tailwind, I definitely could have gotten more kills, but it wasn't really like that. Somehow we both went all in on Beartic on the Rain team. I don't know why.
I mean, what else were we going to pick on the Rain team, right?
That was the... I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's not
That's Mono.
Yeah, it's Mono Mallard's team. I'm trying to remember what the team name is. It's got 2 W's, but it's not the...
Wedgehurst Whimsicots.
Wedgehurst Whimsicots, that's right. It's not the Waterloo Wormadams, because they're also 2 W's.
Yeah.
And we represent this one as 2W, and the other one is WW.
Yeah.
And then last team, these camo dudes, some Pittsburgh. With Garganacl and Dragonite were our predictions. So
I think the Primeape one, I know personally I went a little too hard on it. I did not expect Dondozo to be quite as strong as it was, and I was wrong.
I mean, so let's go to the next one. Dondozo was their best kill. It had 14, and Annihilate had 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that we were wrong in predicting the Annihilate was going to be good. We definitely underestimated Dondozo.
Yeah.
I think every league did. I mean, I've seen Dondozo without
Tatsugiri.
Without Tatsugiri, literally just rest, sleep, talk, and liquidation through it 3v1.
Yeah, water's a good type, and it's got really good stats.
Absurdly bulky.
Yeah.
Your own prediction for how you were going to use Meowscarada definitely panned out. That definitely was exactly how you predicted it to go, and it went like that. The Vaporeon was the kill leader for James, which neither of us predicted, and in fact we certainly missed that one.
It's a little surprising, but it's another bulky water, right? Bulky waters are good.
Calm Mind went in a lot.
Yeah.
James had a lot of games where basically the rest of his team died, and then he went from a 3v1 with Vaporeon down to the opponent having 1 Pokemon left and then Vaporeon dying. Mm-hmm. A lot of really close games that were basically all on the back of Vaporeon. My team wound up being a tie between Salazzle and Palafin entirely off of the last week, because before that, Salazzle I think was 2 kills ahead. And then Salazzle and Palafin ultimately wound up tying. My brain's dying. At 9 kills, which is not a lot.
Oh.
So then when we come up to the one of the coming up ones. Pelipper at 14 kills. Oh, was it 12 or 14? I think it was 14. Yeah, sorry, 12 games, 14 KOs. That's a couple. That's a few. To be honest, I don't know why we both picked Beartic. Oh. Yeah.
I feel like when we were looking at it, it felt like the only real attacking threat, almost.
They had a Golduck, didn't they?
Yeah, so I stand by what I just said.
I think Golduck is better in rain than Beartic is. They also had, Raichu. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it really was those Pokemon. Tinkaton could do it. But, no, I think that we were definitely underrating the fact that, Pelipper's the mon that's always in rain, right?
Yeah.
And
Hurricane's a good move.
It's clicking Hurricanes, it's clicking Hydro Pumps, occasionally Chilling Waters. And then we have the overall season kill leader, Dragonite, at 22 KOs, which I think you predicted correctly, and I did not predict correctly. I mean, the Garganacl had a good season, just not as good as their Dragonite.
Yeah, Dragonite is not shocking, right? Because Extreme Speed is one finishing things off, right?
That's
with
funny.
Priority, and
You're
also
not really
just
doing the speed as much.
there was quite a few E-Speed games, especially early in the season.
I know that they brought the team against me, and it was DD Dragon Claw Thunder Punch, and I walled it with a Terra Fairy.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was
After
so funny
I think,
at the
and
end.
you know, the funniest thing is, I was the normal berry. I'm trying to remember what the normal berry is called, and they had exploded on me earlier in the game.
Yeah.
It was like with Garganacl, the Pokemon I predicted to be their kill leader, and then like I lived that because of the I cannot remember what the normal berry is, but I lived it because of that, and then I walled the Dragonite because it was Dragon Claw Thunder Punch. No, but they ran like DD a lot, not just E-Speeds, man. And it definitely went well. I think they also brought Special once, maybe twice. It certainly was a really dominant season for that. It was the overall kill leader. It got 22 KOs, which is quite a lot. Though not as funny as one of the ones that we're coming up on. And yeah, ultimately Dragonite and Tauros. You know, our division wound up having the most concentrated kills, which is funny considering what we've seen with some of the other team constructs in the other divisions. So those were the results. Now we get on to the next one, and our next set of predictions, which were something. We definitely made predictions, and those predictions may or may not have come to light. Once more, both of us went all in on the I'm having a stroke. Annihilate. We went with different things. You'd think after the Pelipper did so well, that between the Tyranitar and Lycanroc, one of us probably would have gotten it right. Yeah?
Yeah, I would have assumed so at the beginning of the season. I guess we'll stay tuned and find out soon.
Yeah, and then both of us went all in on the Annihilate from Jordan. Here, we made a big split where I once again back to Tauros, Tauros Blaze. And then you went in on the Satitan, which I think that team did have a Vomit so it wasn't just like random.
Did it? Wasn't it Braff's team?
I don't know. That is Bibrass. Oh, sorry. I actually don't remember who the first teams is. Is that... No, your boys is Garchomp.
Yeah.
Who's this the Sand?
Well, we're not allowed to check, so...
I think you're allowed to check. Was it Ray? Yeah, it was Ray J. Ray with an E.
The other Ray.
I was like, I'm trying to think about like who is it, right? Because we've got Jordan, we've got Braff, and then we've got I think that's Sukaba with the Dragonite and the Quack. That's definitely popping with the Goldengo and Haxorus. And then it's your boy with the Garchomp. 100,000 debt. So we certainly you backed the Dragonite again in this one when we're looking at thing. I backed the Quack again. What was it between the previous one with Bing Man's team and then this one? You know, do you regret not backing the Quack this time? You know, what shook you?
In hindsight, yes, but I mean, Sukaba's team was just so busted.
It really was. It really was.
There was quite a few things that definitely could have been the kill leader. I don't know. I felt like in the preseason that Dragonite was super strong. I also felt like Annihilate was really strong.
That it was. Then we see Poppin's team, where I went in on Goldengo and you went in on Haxorus. You know, we saw a Haxorus pull it out on Dan's team in the previous div, so we'll see whether that goes. I actually picked Goldengo over Jace's team, where I didn't pick the Goldengo. I think just because Poppin's team was pretty frail. Like, I think they have a Talonflame that have 0 kills, even though it was Steve's kill leader.
Yeah, well, yeah, Steve's just a weirdo. I felt like Haxorus next to Talonflame was going to be a really solid combo.
Yeah, it turns out Goldengo next to Talonflame is also a solid combo.
Also,
yes. And then we had the very indisputable prediction of your boy's only Pokemon being Garchomp. I think he did make transactions, but...
Yeah, I want to say, because I was a little hard on your boy's team in the PRs and stuff like that, but after those transactions, that became a really scary team.
I don't remember what the transactions were, I just remember that they happened. It's the Borealis Beartix, right?
Yes. So he basically added more offense.
Yeah, he did. He dropped...
Yeah, Poltegeist and... what was the other?
Picked up Poltegeist and Volcarona. Volcarona is a scary one to pick up.
Yes, absolutely.
They exchanged for Jumpluff and Polmark, only one of the Resurrectors. Alright, and so, yeah, all in on Garchomp. And then I went fully all in on Garchomp, and you went fully all in on the Dragonite from help by literally just a Sugaba, right?
Yes, correct.
Overall, none of us had faith in Azumarill this time. Azumarill really did phenomenal. Annihilate has been pretty consistently like the second kill leader on Annihilate teams. Unshockingly, the Garchomp was the top mon in the Garchomp team. Bronzong actually coming out the top when we had like the Sand team, the Tyranitar and Lycanroc, both really good options, was kind of crazy to me. Quack and Glamora, neither of us was super. I think we both had somewhat positive things to say about Glamora, but neither of us were expecting it to become the kill leader. Certainly not over the Dragonite.
Yeah, the Quack is not shocking to me at all. But the Glamora in there at the beginning of the season, I would have never predicted that.
Yeah, but no, both 13 KOs, which is pretty dang solid. That's the same as the Vaporeon, you know. And Goldango. It turns out Goldango was good. It's the 5th overall kill leader, and it's here. And then the Taurus Blaze had a very strong season. I think 15 KOs, I believe, which is just behind the Garchomp at 16. Taurus is a good mon. It's a really good mon.
It is.
And Goldango is nuts. So now we get on to our final division, Uva, which I think means a grape or something. I don't remember. I don't have good. We need Pop in here to interpret. So here we have. I went pretty all in on Kingambit. You went pretty all in on Meowscarada. I believe the first team is Bones, where both of us were on the Magnezone train. Funnily enough, I think that this team had 2 Pokemon we previously predicted as kill leader. I think it had Beartic and honestly Salamence? Yeah, the other team had Dragonite. I'm pretty sure this team had Salamence.
Yeah, I think so.
Both of us are big fans of Magnezone.
I was a huge fan of Magnezone with Terra.
I think it's good.
It is. I think it's really good too, but it maybe not a kill leader good, you know.
Well, we'll see. And then Kingambit, both of us thought that was pretty good on Goose's team. I want to say it's Goose. I'm pretty sure Goose.
Yeah, that is.
Pretty sure it's Goose. I was thinking, is it someone who isn't Goose? No, I'm pretty sure it's Goose with the Frostmoth.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why that's the other Pokemon I remember. And then Tay's team, I think it's the Plundering Berserkers, and the Grove City Eagles for Bone. Tay's team, the South Texas Slowpokes. I was a big fan of Lucario for similar reasons to the Dragonite. You're a big fan of Baxcalibur for similar reasons to the Baxcalibur.
Correct.
But I mean, Tay's team was insane. I don't think anyone would have been shocked if Mousehold was the kill leader, or if Vaporeon was the kill leader, or if Kilowattrel was the kill leader, or if Armarouge was the kill leader. They're all pretty phenomenal Pokemon. And then we come over to Sora's team, where both of us, I think, thought that the Hydreigon was going to be a bit bait. I didn't go in on the Taurus Aqua. You didn't go in on the Taurus Aqua. We wound up picking Sizzle and Meowscarada. I question why I picked Sizzle. I think we were running pretty out of time when we're getting around to this. So
I was just gonna say, I remember at the end of this, just kind of like, which one do you want? Okay, this one, this one. Yeah.
So the Hydreigon was certainly the main mon. I think both of us doubted it a bit. Then we come over to, was this Heaven's team? That did not have the greatest of seasons. I think both of us kind of picked our picks, maybe a bit as a meme. There was Rotom Heat and Veluza. I think this team had a lot of psychic types.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the season, it was another one that didn't have a lot of offense.
It had certainly a lot of synergistic offense. I think they had the Goodra, which, we weren't all in on my team, so we probably should have won this team, but, and then we finally get over to the Grafton Gengars, where we both predict Gengar, because, one, we didn't have enough confidence in the Tatsugiri, the Tatsdozo that they had, and then also, we were right in not having that confidence.
Yeah, the results for this team is wild. Yeah.
Bishop and Heracross, 18 KOs each. And they're holding hands. I moved them so they'd be holding hands.
Oh, how sweet. That is so impressive. I mean, it makes sense, right? Bisharp is pretty strong. And
Bisharp is the same mode as Kingambit, therefore I claim this as a win. Also, we're both right on the Kingambit. So Hydreigon, both of us down with the Hydreigon, but it had a really good season. It's, I think, similar to Magnezone in the sense that it's really good with Terra. Both of us, we didn't have enough stock in that Slaking. The Gravias Slaking is shown to be a lot better than I had predicted it being, to be honest.
Yeah, it showed up a lot, and it did a lot for Bohm. And I think that's why we went with Magnezone, because it was like, well, Slaking will come, and it'll perform, but it's not going to come to every match. But it came to a lot of matches, and it killed a lot of Pokemon.
It turns out, you know, Regigiga stats are good without a negative ability.
Absolutely.
Especially when you have recovery.
Hydreigon was a little more offensive than we thought it might be.
I think we both just kind of predicted it to get overwhelmed, because 98 is an awkward speed stat, and I think we were also both just being a little contrarian. But yeah, Hydreigon had a really good season. Kilowattrel, I don't think it's necessarily a surprise. I think I predicted Kilowattrel would be the kill leader on Dan's team, and it turns out it was on Tay's team that it was the kill leader. Armorage is, I think, a little bit less kill leadery without being DD, but like Kilowattrel, I think, got so many kills for this team, more than every other team. More than every other mon, that it's just really impressive. But it was coming very consistently to games, and it was consistently getting KOs.
Very good 5-pointer or whatever.
Yeah, that's wasn't it like maybe even cheaper?
Yeah, 4 maybe.
South Texas Lowpokes, Kilowattrel, no, 5 point. You're right.
5, yeah.
Very, very, very significantly good Pokemon. And sorry for those of you who were hearing the sirens. And then I forgot to take notes on this. So how much do we think Terastallization impacted the ultimate, you know, the mix-ups, things that we wouldn't have predicted that outperformed our expectations? Do you think that was the wild card that we didn't get, or was there something else?
I think if for some mons we overestimated it, like maybe Magnezone, and then maybe underestimated it for mons like Heracross, right?
For sure, and Bishop as well. I think
Spathra was also not on Heaven's team at the beginning of the season. Am I right about that?
I have no idea.
I think that was a transaction, but I could be wrong.
I can check. Trades. What's Heaven's team called? The
Frillish. Something Frillish.
Philadelphia Frillishes. That's
French
Frillishes. So that'd be
something like
FRF. Yeah, they dropped Vermungus and Umbreon for a Spathra and Pawmon. Oh, after our Garchomp team dropped the Pawmon. Yeah, okay, well that explains why we didn't predict it.
Otherwise, we definitely would have got that.
I think we definitely underestimated Slaking, because it has so many viable Terra options on account of the fact that it's only weak to one type.
Yeah.
You're very unlikely to have typing crossover, like weakness crossover between those two mons. I think that was something we definitely underrated. That was very similar for Bishop as well. Heracross, I don't think I even terrored all that often, but when it did, it got a lot of impact out of that turn of damage. And Hydreigon's just nuts with Terra, because
I think Heracross really impressed me, especially this season. I think people kind of underestimated it and probably under-prepped for it a lot of times, and it ran wild.
I mean, I've never seen a bug move through so much damage.
Yeah. Guts, you know?
So yeah, ultimately, and then the Bronzong. Bronzong was another mon that used Terra to an insane degree. That I think we definitely underestimated heading into the season. It got a lot of extra opportunities out of that, and I think at one time it did Terra fighting to get stab on body press, which was pretty strong. Dozo was an insane Terra user.
Yeah.
Vaporeon
for something I didn't think was going to be good. I mean, I got absolutely destroyed by Dozo week 1, so I was proven wrong very quickly.
Whereas I think I had my game against Dozo. I dumpstered them game 1 and then got dumpstered in game 2 and 3. Which is like just the Dozo. It's like,
yeah. If
you eliminate the Dozo check. I had another game recently where I hazed Dozo and then it still beat me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need anything else. Like the Tatsu is just kind of like nice, you know.
Yeah, right.
And then we had the Mulligan on Quaquaval, but I think we saw in the other division Quaquaval's pretty good, so it definitely could have been pretty good. Yeah, I think Tauros was definitely a mon that we slept on. I guess we actually predicted it quite a lot, but I wouldn't have expected it to be like the best performing mon. I think that between the two divisions, Tauros Aqua is the best performing mon, and then Tauros Blaze is the 11th best performing mon. That's very, very strong. What Pokemon
really good move pool
did well?
really good move pools, really good abilities, right? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Another Pokemon that did
stats.
really well between both divisions, but we didn't get to see pop up here, Salamence. Salamence got 23 KOs overall, but it was, I think, like the second kill leader for both of the teams that it was on. So that was basically just kind of how it came down. And yeah, obviously Annihilate we mentioned a lot, and it, like I said, it was also the second kill leader on both of the teams that it was on. And it was pretty impressive, to be honest. I was very impressed by it.
Yeah, it was about as good as we thought it would be, right?
I mean, yeah. Well, I guess impressed by it's a weird thing. I was, you know, it didn't turn out to be something that we were overestimating. I think it turned out to be just as good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the top tier mod for sure.
So yeah, ultimately, guys, I thank you all for watching. I would consider... my brain's dying.
Liking and subscribing.
Yeah, consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment down below. Check out Daddy's channel. There should be a game coming up. I've watched the replays, but it's always hard to remember. I also don't even know who your sneaky co-host was this time.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Surprise.
Was it Ray?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? That's the only reason I lost. It was a really good set. So when the video does drop, if you haven't watched the set yet, it was a really fun set.
Yeah,
so
definitely check Daddy out. That video should be coming up, and then another video with Daddy on my channel should be coming up at the end of the week. Thank you for watching.